Hello my favorite people! Swifties! What's up? Okay, yesterday I uploaded the first part of the reaction to Miss Americana, which is Taylor Swift's documentary on Netflix. And before we do part 2, I didn't even expect y'all to get that many likes in one day. That's insane. But before we do part 2, I wanted to check out more of the Look What You Made Me Do music video and like decoding it and finding the references that we didn't catch. In the Miss Americana where we left off, the Kanye West moment just happened, so this is even more relevant to Look What You Made Me Do, and I want to get into it. I'm glad that Taylor, now that I know the whole story, I'm glad that Taylor stood her ground and kind of like stood up for herself with this song and music video. Whew, what a time. Anyway, subscribe if you're new here. Check out my other Taylor Swift videos if you haven't yet, all in the Taylor playlist, and like the video. Here we go. Decoding Taylor Swift's Look What You Made Me Do music video.
I'm pretty sure Taylor Swift just dropped the best music video she has ever.
Excuse me, what is this audio?
I love the way that Taylor isn't holding back and mocking herself. I'm not even
Hold on, we'll get through this together. What's happening here?
sure I've fully recovered from watching it, but I'm going to attempt now to decode some of it, because there is a lot to talk about.
Let's do it!
Now, some of this I figured out myself. Others I found scouring the web in various places, including Scammer Swift on Twitter, Entertainment Tonight, other Twitters, websites, whatever. People out there, you guys are smart, so this is a vibes with the zombie Taylor coming out of the tombstone that reads, "Here lies Taylor Swift's reputation." Out of the woods, zombie Taylor is seen burying 2015 Met Gala Taylor, which could signify the beginning and the end of Taylor's 1989 era, and also the end of maybe her good girl reputation.
Yeah, okay. I was literally thinking it's more metaphorical than anything. Like, burying her reputation, like she's done with the good girl part. Her as the, like, dead zombie form is like, she's, not that she's a bad girl now, but she's just like, she's gonna do whatever she wants now. Burying the reputation, meaning the old Taylor is dead. I like that.
The Met Gala took place in May 2015, and Out of the Woods was her last real music video from 1989.
Out of the Woods has a music video. Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? We gotta react.
Sorry, New Romantics. And now we are in this reputation era. Also, if you have an eagle eye, the grave next to the one Taylor climbs out of reads Niels Sjoberg. Sjoberg?
Who's that?
I don't even know how to say that, but it is the name Taylor used when she co-wrote the Calvin Harris Rihanna hit "This Is What You Came For."
Why didn't she just use her real name? I know she was like canoodling with Calvin Harris, but it gives me very much, you know, back in the day when female writers couldn't actually publish their own works because they were women, so they had to like have a fake alias. Taylor Swift is Taylor Swift. She deserves all the credits.
In a bathtub full of diamonds, pearls, and jewels. Now, some are saying this is a reference to when she described her character in Blank Space, in which she said, quote, "She traps them and locks them in her mansion, and then she's crying in her marble bathtub surrounded by pearls." Others seem to think it's a reference to Kim Kardashian, who was in a bathtub when she got robbed in Paris, or put in a bathtub. It could also just...
Taylor Swift, I don't think she would do something like that. That was a traumatic... I know Kim and Kanye did horrible things and continued to do horrible things to Taylor, but I don't think she would stoop as low as to make fun of something so traumatic like that for Kim.
Taylor
I don't think
is just
so.
swimming in wealth and flaunting it for people. I also saw someone say on one website it reminded them of this picture of Melania Trump and could reference how Taylor stayed silent during the election. There's also a single dollar bill in the bathtub, which could reference Taylor's recent lawsuit that she just won against the radio DJ, where she only sued him for $1.
Honestly, I feel like that's more likely, the lawsuit. Because you have the one random dollar, the pool of jewels. I think it's the lawsuit.
Taylor embracing all the snake imagery people threw her way after the whole Kim and Kanye fiasco.
Let's be honest though, why the heck was the public so ready to believe Kim and Kanye? Okay, this could be a deep conversation and I could go either side, but Kim and Kanye or Taylor Swift. Let's not go there.
Sitting on a throne on top of snakes, sipping tea poured by snakes. Literally queen of the snakes. I'm honestly hoping that all those snakes were CGI, because if she was really sitting...
My freaking SD card got full. Hold on, we're getting right back into the reaction. The things y'all don't see behind the scenes.
That is columns in that scene read "Et tu, Brute," which references Julius...
Brutus and Julius Caesar, when he killed him. So she feels, like, betrayed by Kim and Kanye?
Caesar, which means even you, Brutus, which is said during the scene in which Caesar is stabbed to death by his friend Brutus and is used to express often treachery of a supposed friend. Now, this could reference people saying Taylor has treated her former friends badly, or maybe that she has a high friend turnover rate, or maybe how some of her friends didn't stand up for her amidst all the drama she's been through. Or it could be maybe some of the people she thought were her friends betrayed her by maybe favoriting Kim and Kanye tweets after the whole phone call thing. Since this is the Snake section, it could reference just how fences were on their way to being mended with Kim and Kanye until Kim leaked the phone call when Taylor said she didn't approve of the famous lyrics. Hence...
Okay, I still don't really know the backstory between that whole phone call situation. Why in the world would she approve of that music video or the song? He literally calls her the B word, referring to Taylor. Why would did she, like, come out and say that she was okay with it, but then backtrack? Did Taylor do this? What was the whole fiasco there?
Snakes. Moving on to the car crash scene. The car looks a lot like a fancy sports car or
that's
maybe
like
a Maserati, which could reference Taylor's song Red and that album. And with Taylor being all blinged out and supposedly riding high, we then see the car crash. Taylor's also seen holding a Grammy after the crash. So this could reference her maybe thinking she was a sure thing to win Album of the Year for Red at the Grammys, but she ended up losing to Daft Punk. Some people also think it's a reference to Katy Perry, since the way Taylor has her hair up in that ponytail and slanted forward looks like Katy with short hair. The car crash calling out maybe also to Katy's The One That Got Away video, and the fact that Taylor has more Grammys and Katy has none. The crash...
That would be shade if it is to Katy. But from what the One That Got Away, wasn't she just in a bed and, like, roaming around and stuff? Or did she really wreck a car? Katy Perry.
Also just
they're both icons.
Taylor's reputation just crashing down. Next we have Taylor swinging inside a huge birdcage with a snake tattoo on her thigh. Now that snake tattoo could just be another reference to always being called a snake, but someone else I saw pointed out that the placement of the tattoo is very similar to where Kendall Jenner wore a fake snake tattoo for a magazine cover. The cage is surrounded by a bunch of bodyguards, maybe referencing that Taylor lives a pretty caged and protected life, something that we might think is perfect. On her dinner plate where she's eating lobster, there's also a rat, maybe referencing that people have said that Taylor looks like a rat, or maybe that she is a rat. Now remember when Taylor pulled all her music off the streaming platforms and people called her maybe greedy and money hungry? Well, she gives that moment of her career a nod in this video as well, in a scene where she robs the bank. If you read the scrolling LED signs or the name of the vault, it reads Streamco or...
But let's be honest, these streaming companies really aren't paying these artists anything. Like, you make more from YouTube music videos and those numbers than you do for people actually listening to your music. Like, they make less than $1, not even $1 for one single listen. If Beyonce said, if I cared about streaming numbers, I would have put Lemonade on Spotify. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's not really about greed, it's just... I don't know.
Company referencing places like Spotify, and she's robbing their bank. Now the robbers are wearing cat masks, which some people think is a dig at Katy, whose fans are called Katy Cats. I honestly just think it's a reference to
loves
her
cats,
which we all know she's obsessed with.
Exactly.
Maybe a little too much? Maybe not. Her sweater reads Blind for Love, which I feel like is a shout out to how the media has portrayed her love life, her being blinded by love, falling in love with, every guy she's supposed to date. Taylor's also wearing an oversized sweater and thigh-high boots in the scene,
Ariana
which some
Grande
have said could be a reference to the Jenners or the Kardashians, as it's a look often worn by Kylie and the family. Taylor then gives a nod to everyone who has basically made fun of her for having a squad by showing a sexy Taylor in a nod to Bad Blood.
I'm sorry, but isn't it just so wild? Why is there a connection between Taylor Swift and the Kardashians? Two huge separate spectrums. Why are they intermingled together? And the Bad Blood was a moment. I know there was like Cara Delevingne there. That's the only one I can remember, but it was like a female empowerment thing.
Basically, manufacturing new squad members, essentially creating a cult in a way, trying to say how women should look,
support each other,
or whatever. And she actually looks really plastic in this scene, like a Barbie. Maybe plastic. Shout out to Mean Girls.
You're plastic. Cold, shiny, hard plastic.
We then see Taylor in a room that gives off blank space vibes, flanked by 8 men wearing their I Heart TS shirts, which are a shout out to the shirt Tom Hiddleston wore during their 4th of July party. There's also 8 men, which are references to her 8 famous exes: Joe Jonas, Taylor Lautner, John Mayer, Jake Gyllenhaal, Connor Kennedy, Harry...
Let's see Taylor's taste. No shade, my opinion. Joe Jonas, no. Taylor Lautner, no. Whoever this guy is, no. This guy, he's a bit old. This guy, no. Looks like a old school YouTuber who fell off. No. Harry Styles, scrumptious. He's handsome. This guy, no. It's her taste, though.
Calvin Harris and Tom Hiddleston. When
Oh, that's Calvin
enters the room,
Harris?
we see Todrick Hall with a clipboard, then the guys on phones popping up behind her. And the scammer Swift Twitter thinks that this, plus the way that Taylor is in formation with the guys, reference the people who say that she uses men for success, and all her relationships have been PR stunts.
What the
Later
heck?
on,
No, I feel like there's such a negative impression about Taylor Swift. Can she not just be like a girl living her life who happens to also be famous? Like, don't look so deep into everything. She uses boys. She doesn't need PR. She's Taylor Swift. The only PR she needs is her guitar. Thank you very much.
the scene comes back, we also see her dancing, and she's actually not half bad at it in this scene. Maybe that's just kind of a jab at everyone who's made fun of her dancing and saying that she can't dance, even herself. Also, I just have to give a shout out to Todrick and all these male dancers, because I can't even walk or
In heels?
stand in heels. They're legit walking
Okay, back to the stuff.
with a chainsaw cut.
This is the moment we've been waiting for. I've always been saying, what the heck, why did she chop off the jet wing? Okay, let's see.
Off the wing of the plane, and this kind of shows Taylor being destructive or maybe just ruining her image. Then new Taylor wearing her new rep outfit is
I don't think it's either of those. Y'all let me know your thoughts. Why did she chop off the jet wing? I know you've commented it before, but comment it again. Thank you.
atop a pile of all these old Taylors trying to climb up to her. These old Taylors include You Belong With Me Taylor, who has all the names of her so-called squad on her shirt, like Martha, Selena, Blake, and Ryan. There's We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together Pajama Taylor, Sparkly Dress with the 13 on the Hand Taylor, Circus Taylor from the Red Tour, Billboard Awards Taylor, ACM Awards Taylor, and many, 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 many more. Now, You Belong With Me Taylor even gets kicked in the face by the boots that Taylor wore on the cover of Vogue, like the amount of detail in
everything about this. The red lip, the bob with the bangs, the dress just draping off of her, those interesting lobster looking black heels, and the heel is like super high. Taylor Swift, who would have thought? She came in as this like young, impressionable country girl, and now she can do rock, she can do pop, she can do alternative, she can do what did you call it? The storytelling kind of music. I don't remember. Folklore. It's some kind of genre. She can do it all. But I really love this. Giving very much Sia. But like Taylor Swift.
Scene is incredible. Now, new Taylor standing on this pile with all these old Taylors trying to crawl up to her on the top kind of represents this new Taylor pushing all these old Taylors aside. It can also mean that Taylor never knows who she really is. Maybe she's having some kind of identity crisis. She's shown many faces throughout her career, but she might be perceived as doing whatever she can to get on top. Or
I think it's more so she has gotten to this point and now her old phases are like trying to tear her down, but obviously they're not able to, so she's like conquering it all. And I don't know, the T in the background, and then at one point she's also like upside down, like making a cross. I don't know if that's a biblical reference or religious reference, but that shot is interesting.
And just keep topping herself. Now, cheetah walking Taylor can be seen.
This was something. Walking the cheetah and wearing his cousin. I'm still not over this scene.
Walking away from a store branded with TS, which blows up, referencing Taylor maybe ruining her brand with all this drama she's had, or the things that she's done. One scene now I'm still confused by is this whole biker scene and her, lifting up the motorcycle. So if anybody has any ideas what that actually references or is a call out to, let me know. Taylor is then seen spray painting that pretty plane with Reputation, and then we end with my favorite scene, and I think the scene everybody's been talking about. All the old Taylors coming face to face with the new Taylors, and Taylor basically referencing all the things that have been said about her, all the things she's been made fun of, everything that's basically fueled everything that's become her reputation. We see 14 Taylors plus the bloody Taylor on the plane wing, making 15. We have all the Taylors from Reputation video plus Red Tour Circus Taylor, Sparkly Dress Speak Now era Taylor, 2009 VMA Taylor, 2015 Met Gala Taylor, You Belong With Me Taylor.
How did she just get all these outfits back too? Like, that's power.
Zombie Out of the Woods Taylor and Swan Shake It Off Taylor.
Out of the Woods
Taylor
Zombie.
rips on her infamous surprised face. Zombie Taylor gets offended being called a bitch, referencing maybe the Kanye West famous lyric where Kanye says he made that bitch famous, or the notions that Taylor is just a bitch. Circus Taylor calls Speak Now Taylor out for...
Okay, hold on. Y'all need to leave Taylor alone. This woman has done nothing but collect little antique looking stuff and play with her little kitties. How could she be a bitch? I just don't see it. Maybe I'm naive because now I'm like a fan of her. Y'all let me know. But I really don't understand where the hate is all coming from. I feel like even this video didn't touch on every single hidden thing in the music video. I don't know if we'll ever get to everything or understand everything. I wish she would just release like a PDF file and just, I did this because of that. I did this because this. This means this. Like, instead of us speculating. But it also makes it really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check out my other Taylor Swift playlist. And yes, the Miss Americana video will be out sometime this week. It takes a long time to film, a long time to edit, so just give me some time. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.